welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1079. Let's get more baby Bjorn in here. He's joining us this morning. I'll move this down a little bit so you can see him. He's just being a little sweetheart, cuddling with me. You know, his normal morning vibes. He likes to come sit here on the dinette table with me. I put a little pinky on the baby. I got stuff to show you guys, but I'm just being silly with baby Bjorn first. And I'm working on... Anyway, good morning and welcome back to the Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1079, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my RV studio. If you are joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you're crafting this morning. Let me know if you have questions for me. If you are new to my channel, I'm Kristin Omdahl. This is my baby Bjorn the cat, and we live full-time in my 28-foot Class C RV, and I work full-time in the RV as well. If you like the idea of following me doing a knit and crochet business, living with my cat full-time in an RV, why don't you consider subscribing to my channel? You can click the red button down below. Let's see, who is here this morning? Oh, this isn't going to work here. Let's see if I can open that back up again. I want to see everybody's names. Nope, that wasn't it. View on YouTube. See if the pop will join up. Okay. Hi, Sharon and Kat, Marianne, Karen, Teresa, Nora, Angela, Judy, Tina, Lori, Judy, and Karen, Laura, Angela, and Chris, Sharon, Judy, and Joe, Nancy, Margaret. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hi, Ivy B Creates. Hi, Rena and Rita, Irene, Kathy. Ooh, Marjorie. I don't know if I got everybody's names. That went by really quickly. Hi, Kathy and Barbara. I tried to keep up, Joe. I'm not sure I got all of them, but I certainly tried. Baby Bjorn is being such a good sport. I put this little piece on him this morning. He's always a good sport, though. Reminds me, when I was a kid, I had an orange cabbie named Herbie, and my mom says I used to put doll clothes on him and put him in a doll stroller, and he would literally purr as I walked down the street with him when I was like 3 or 4 years old. And we even had a kiddie pool in the backyard, and he let us put him in the kiddie pool in the summertime, which is pretty crazy. But he sounds like he was the same temperament as this cutie pie. Hi, Sugar. You want to say hi to everybody? You guys say hi today? Maybe. Anyway, hi Grace, hi Donna, hi Karen, hi LaShara. Good morning. Thank you, Angela. You can find these earrings on my website. They are called, I believe they're called the Marisol Crochet earrings. You can find them on my website. I have lots of jewelry patterns. I have lots of patterns in general, actually. I have lots of patterns, lots of books, and lots of videos here, and starting to offer classes on my website too. You can either take the classes that are now available. There's only one available right now. There's also some other classes that show not available yet. You can sign up for the wait list on those, and then you'll be notified as soon as they do come in. So I have knitting classes, crochet classes, and business classes coming. So if any of that interests you, sign up for the wait list on those as well. Ooh, Teresa's making our first wire cuff bracelet. Aren't those fun? I love making wire cuff bracelets. I prefer to use Tunisian crochet over regular crochet with wire. I find I have a lot more control over the wire, and I love the way it turns out. But let me know how you like to make crochet bracelets. Hi, Dawn. Good morning. Bjorn, you're being such a good sport with this on your back, so I better show people why I have this out here real quick so that we can take it off his back. I love it when he's a good sport, but I also like to not push my luck either. Donna's hooked on pony beads right now. That's awesome. I'm surprised how many people had never used them before I showed how to use them last month, and I'm so glad that everybody's getting some experience with beads. If you've been intimidated by beads before, I do believe pony beads is a great way to get acclimated to beads. It's a good beginner bead, and I'm so glad so many of you have felt empowered to give it a try. I could make him a cozy cedar. I'm not sure what you mean, Marjorie. Not sure. Hi, Thea. Hi, Dawn. Good morning. Okay, so a sweater. Oh, gosh, it's way too hot here for a sweater. I would consider making him a bed, but I'll tell you what, you know how kitties are. The minute you say, oh, I'm going to make this better for him, more cozy for him, then he doesn't want, he likes to sit on hard surfaces, I think. I don't know. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so I'm still working on the front matter for the 22nd book, Crochet Power Edgings. And as I'm working, I showed you yesterday about how I've got a section there showing you how to create fullness for corners without having to modify stitch patterns. So in the setup row, you can perfectly set up with plain stitches, single crochet, half double crochet, whatever. You can perfectly set up any corner to accept increase of multiples of whatever edging stitch pattern you want by doing these quick tips. And I show 2 different ways how to do that in the front section of the book. But you know that's not enough, right? But wait, there's more. And if we're really going to talk about edging, crochet edging is not just for crochet. Crochet edging is for anything, right? So the next thing I wanted to do was show you how to crochet edging on knit fabric. So I did a demonstration and an explanation on how to work into the row end stitches. So this is a stockinette stitch swatch. Come closer so you can see it. So this is a stockinette stitch swatch. So I showed you how to do a setup row in the main color of the body to work into the row end stitches to then create an edging there. And then I also show you how to do it from a cast on or bind off edge, because the rate in which you add stitches to your setup row is different if you're working in a into the stitches and if you're working into the side of the stitches along the rows. I also talk about how you would adjust that if the gauge of your edging is different than the gauge of your knitting, which is interesting, right? You could add a delicate crochet edge on a chunky knit, or you could add a chunky edge onto a delicate knit fabric. Doesn't matter. So we talk about the gauge and also the differences between working into the row ends and also working into the actual stitches on the cast on or bind off edge. And I feature 2 different edgings just for the fun of it. And then what's the, I'm not going to even tell you, I'm going to see if someone wants to guess. What's the other really, really important, not important, wonderful, what's the other really wonderful category that we love to add crochet edgings to? I'll wait for an answer. I know a lot of you know the answer to this, so I'll wait. Hi, Steffi. Hi, Joan. Marjorie, Dawn, Judy. Yes, fabric. Yes, fabric. Whether you buy fabric and hem it and add edging to it, like you could buy fleece blankets and add edging to it. You could buy gauzy fabric, put a hem on it and put edging on it and make a baby receiving blanket. Or you can buy pre-made clothes at the store and add edging to it. Or you can buy linens at the store and put edging on it. Or you can bring new life and new love to existing things in your wardrobe or your linen closet. Whether you want to add edging to pillowcases, a comforter, a bed skirt, or a t-shirt, or a skirt, or a dress, or jeans, or a bag, a scarf, whatever. Upcycling old clothing, embellishing new clothing, upcycling or embellishing linens, bed linens, stuff in your living room, stuff in your kitchen, whatever. You can add edging to anything, or actual fabric that you turn into something. So sewing projects as well. Let's say you're a sewer and you want to put a crochet edging on something you've sewn, a quilt, a blanket, anything. Well, we need to have a discussion on how to put a crochet edge on fabric. So I did a full-blown photo tutorial. Excuse me, sir, I have to pull this off of you now. I did a full-blown tutorial on how to sew a blanket stitch, which is what I did on here. And I just took something simple that I had close by, which is one of these washcloths. These are face washcloths that I use, and I have a 6-pack, so I didn't need all 6. So I wanted to be able to show up close and personal how to do a blanket stitch, super easy, And then I also suggested to make sure that whatever color you do the blanket stitch in, to do your setup row in the same color, and preferably those could be in a color that match your fabric, but I'm doing things in high contrast for learning purposes here. And then from there, as long as you do that in the multiple of your edging, boom, you got an edging then as well. Isn't that great? So I was busy yesterday working on all of that. So writing all of the content, doing all of the stitching for all of these, doing all the photos, editing all the photos, and getting everything laid out for the front matter. I believe the front matter is done and ready for editing now. I believe I'm done. I think I've written everything that I want to write in there. I wrote the new dedication for Marlon, which is the 22nd dedication that I've now written for Marlon, which reminds me, if you would like to see, this is something really special that I made as a gift for him, but if any of you would like to see it, I wrote an article on my blog a while back documenting all 21 book dedications that I've written over my 18-year career of writing books. Each one has been dedicated to Marlon, but they've been dedicated in different ways based on different times in our lives. And each one has a coordinating photo from the year in which I wrote the book. So it's just a great, like, walk down memory lane for me. I wrote it as a gift for him, but I thought a lot of you, especially those of you that have followed me a long time, would really enjoy taking a walk down memory lane and seeing some of the photos of Marlon and me that you remember from social media over the years. The problem with only collecting our memories in social media is that it's so overwhelmingly too much information that how do you go back and find things, and how do you organize things like you did back in the day with photo albums and scrapbooks and things like that. So if you would, you don't need to read that now. You can go back and watch it later, read it later, but it's a really nice photo album with the books, the book anthology, along with photos of Marlon during that year with me, and then a little and then the actual dedication that I wrote to him in each book is copy and pasted in right next to it. So if you want to see that, it's updated through book 21, and I won't be updating it through book 22 until A, I have a cover for book 22, B, I have a link for book 22, and C, I have a second photo of Marlon and me from 2022. I put up the photo of Marlon, Jess, and me from when we went to that treetop canopy in Miyaka River State Park, a couple hours up north here. Remember when we went there? And honestly, that's the only photo I have of Marlon and me from this year. Little weird. So with the fact that Crochet Power Edgings is going to come out also in 2022, I'm going to need a second photo of us together, and yeah, we're going to need to figure that out. Angela misses seeing Marlon. You and me both. This is the least I've ever seen Marlon in my entire life, and I'm having a hard time adjusting to it, to be quite honest with you. It's not a photo of us playing chess, though, Judy. It's just a photo of him. For the most part, I've put photos of us together intentionally in that article. So I get another one. So I am going to see him today, and I wish the time would have coordinated for our live, but number one, I didn't know if the time would coordinate, and number two, I didn't want to ambush them, and I'll tell you why in a second. So Marlon and Jess got a puppy last night. They got a French bulldog, little baby. He's 10 weeks old. He's this big, and his name is Louie, Louie, and they wanted me to come meet him last night, and it was too late for me to go out. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys, but as great as Bjorn is doing and adjusting to RV life, he has severe anxiety if I'm gone after dark. So we have a little bit of a Cinderella story over here. You know how Cinderella had to be home by midnight? I gotta be home before sunset. Otherwise, he is freaking out when I get back. And so I coordinate everything I do around making sure that I'm home before sunset, which changes every day, right? Anyway, just another challenge. But anyway, last night I wasn't going to be able to meet Louie and be on his first day home and be able to be home in time for Bjorn. And Marlon and Jess have been very understanding of that, which I appreciate, because they're animal lovers too, and they both love Bjorn very much. So today I will be going up to their apartment to meet Louie. And I wanted to go in time for 9 a.m. to go live to share my meeting Louie with you, but once I get their permission today, I will see if I can take some photos or videos of Louie and share them with you in the post section or in the short section here. And then we'll go forward from there, because one day, once Louie gets acclimated and he starts going for car rides, we're excited for introducing Louie and Bjorn together. So we'll figure all this out in time, and then from there, maybe get a photo of Marlon and me for the blog post. Anyway, I get to go hold a 10-week-old puppy today. I'm pretty excited about that too. We'll see how Bjorn feels when I come home smelling like a dog. You'll be okay, won't you, sugar? Yeah. He goes, as long as I get enough brushies and enough attention, then I'll be okay. All right, so if that's not enough that I worked on yesterday, I promised you I'd start an experiment too. So remember how we have the small swatch of the half circle formula shawl, which is a new pattern and a new video tutorial here on YouTube. And if you haven't watched the video tutorial yet, I highly recommend it. I get offers. I get requests all the time for teaching how to do a very simple, basic half circle top-down construction crochet shawl. I've answered a lot of people's requests and made this pattern and also the video tutorial this week. I've set it up as a formula pattern, meaning when I say it's a formula pattern, meaning it can be made in any weight yarn with any appropriately sized crochet hook. It's top-down construction. End it on whatever row you want to end it on. I did make this in an unusual construction format, whereas instead of making a magic loop or a chain 5 ring, I started this one with three foundation ovals for my first row of 9 double crochets. I just wanted to do something different and try it out. And now I've also made a couple other examples. Have not woven the ends in on all of these yet, but here is a chain 5 ring version. Okay, and then I did a chain 1 version, so I did a chain 4 and then worked the 9 double crochet or the 8 double crochets in the 4th chain from your ring, so that the skipped chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. So all of these stitches are worked into one chain. I'll stand up so these come closer. And now my final sample is final variation is going to be the magic ring, which I've done here. I'm going to stand up. I don't feel like I'm getting them close enough. I will tell both Marlon and Jess that you all said hi to them. Absolutely. Okay, so here's the original version where I did 3 foundation ovals. Then here's the second version where I did a chain 5 ring. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to do all the weaving in the ends yet. There's the chain 5 ring. This is chain 4 and 8 double crochets in the 4th chain from your hook, so that the first chain 3 counts as the skipped chain 3 counts as your first double, and all the extra stitches are worked into one chain. Okay, and then this one's not quite done yet, almost. This one is magic ring. And so the reason why I did this, if you didn't get a chance to watch yesterday's podcast or show, what was it? Would have been episode 1078. It had come to my attention through some comments here on YouTube. Someone said that they didn't think that their magic ring held up very well over time. They made a larger garment with a hood, and this popped at some point over time, like kind of quickly, I guess, after she had made it, and she was concerned that maybe it's not as strong as some of the other options. And you know me, the mathematician scientist that I am, I was like, ooh, do we need to do an experiment? Of course we needed to do an experiment. So I said I'm going to make all these swatches. And by the way, how gorgeous are these colors together? Like as I was doing this, I was like, and this goes back to what I said about Mother Nature being the best inspiration for picking colors. The color wheel is too, but how about this? Pick some flower colors and pick some leaf colors, and boom, Bob's your uncle, you've got a color palette. I'm serious. Pick some colors based on flowers, pick some colors based on leaves. Mother Nature has a wonderful way of putting colors together, period. Anyway, experiments, me too. I don't know if you know this, but I've put Marlon through blind taste tests for years. And just now that she's part of our family, she's been through a few of my blind taste tests too. There's something really interesting to me about experiments. I love figuring things out based on proper experiments with the right number of variables so that you're testing only one thing and everything else is, what do you call it? Not a variable. Anyway, I got distracted. Whew. So I thought that it would, because I'm getting really distracted now. Oh, what's the matter, honey? Did you get scared? Constant. Thank you, Judy. Yes. I think it's really important that you make sure you, oh, he got scared of something going by. It's okay, sweetheart. Thank you, Angela. Yes, constant. It's really important to me to make sure there's only one variable when you're, and everything else is a constant in order to have a proper experiment. Remember when we did the blind test of testing me to see if I knew which garments were which with Marlon and Jess? That's when I had to do a blind, and they had the idea of having me do a blind test to see if I knew which kitty was which with Bjorn and Becker. It might be the last time you guys saw Becker, isn't it? He'll be gone 6 months this week. So anyway, I thought it would be really interesting to test and see which of these beginnings would be the strongest. So I think we're going to be able to see some other comparisons too, and I'll be like, these are totally different shapes because of those different joins, and you can't really see it when I set it up on my chest right now. So I'll do some proper photos and show you. You know, just like with anybody else, just like with any other type of grief, it comes in waves, right? And over time, the waves get further apart. But when they crash, it's still hard. So 2 videos that were really special last year, if you want to see Becker again, would be that video. And then I did a Halloween video with both kitties where I dressed up as a kitty. I don't know if you remember seeing that, but that was fun too. Oh gosh, that would have been almost a year ago. A year ago, October. Yeah, losing fur babies is hard. Bjorn hates the AC here. He hates the sound of it. I know, buddy. It's tough. It's tough for recording too. If you were only a YouTuber, you'd understand how loud that is. He goes, I don't care. It's too loud for my eardrums. He freaks out when the AC comes on. It's okay, sugar. It's okay. Come on. Come on back. Oh yeah, I did yoga with the kitties before too. I still do yoga with Bjorn. We do it here in the RV, and he's not as interested in it here. I do yoga on the floor sometimes, and he's just not interested in it. Not like he used to be. All right, so what I was going to say is, gotta weave in all the ends. I do believe that sometimes when people say that one version of starting a project over another is less secure or easier to break over time, I'm wondering if some of it has to do with how the tails are woven in, but I do still want to weave the tails in. I'm going to give my, I'm going to present my hypothesis now though. I'm going to say that spreading the stitches out over 3 foundation ovals is going to be the most secure beginning to any project. I'm going to say also that a chain 5 ring would be the number 2 most secure one. And why am I saying that? Think about rope versus string. One piece of thread or one piece of string can snap easily. When you ply it into a rope, can you pull on rope? Nope, you can't. So think about that analogy when it comes to making a chain 5 ring versus a magic ring. A chain 5 ring is going to have loops through loops, and you've got stitches. And so it's not just one strand of yarn, it's now chains of yarn that you're working around. So you're talking 2 and 3 ply. It's going to be much more secure than 1 or 2 strands of just smooth yarn. Same with the working into the one chain of that chain, beginning chain 4, working all those stitches into one chain instead of around 5 chains is going to be less secure. So depending on how rough I am with these samples, and maybe we'll get rougher with them over time, we're going to start by just putting a lot of friction on them and washing them with something that gets a lot of agitation. We'll do that a couple of times, but then I think even doing some rougher agitation by hand will be good. I don't want to go too crazy though, because we're not talking about pushing the envelope here. I want everybody to understand, I want everybody to see over normal wear and tear over time. So I'll do it more frequently, but I'm not going to do anything crazy aggressive because that's not the point. The point is 3 circle foundations wouldn't work with granny. Why wouldn't they work with granny squares, Lori? Just separate however many stitches you're supposed to start with, or do 3 or do 4, join them in a ring. You could do 3 or 4 foundation ovals and then join them in the ring and then work with, okay, so let's say your granny square starts with 16 stitches. You could do 4 foundation ovals, join the 4 foundation ovals in a ring and work 4 stitches into each of those 4 foundation ovals. Or let's say you're doing something divisible, let's say you're starting with 15 stitches, I don't know, whatever, you do 5 in each of the 3 foundation ovals, or you're starting with 12 stitches, you could do 3 stitches each in 4 foundation ovals, or 4 stitches each in 3 foundation ovals. Either way, it doesn't matter. You would just be dispersing the stitches in different rings, and then that would put less pressure on each ring. Does that make sense? So the whole reason that I wanted to do this in the first place is not to cause a controversy and say magic ring or chain 1 or chain 5 or foundation ovals is superior to the other. However, we give a lot of what we make away, right? If something breaks on my watch, I'm very experienced at fixing things. I can fix something. But God forbid something I gave as a gift or gave as charity broke. What do you think someone who's not a crafter is going to do with something when their foundation oval or their magic ring or their magic loop or their chain breaks at the beginning of the project? Do you think they're going to fix it? No, they're going to throw it in the garbage. And then what's the point of giving the gift in the first place? So because we give a lot of our stuff away, I find this to be a very important subject, because I know that I would be upset if something broke and someone was too embarrassed to tell me, or just didn't tell me and just threw it away. So I know a lot of you probably feel that way as well. And we put a lot of money into it, exactly, Marjorie, and a lot of time. How about the value of our time? That's huge too. And like I said, I'm not trying to cause an actual controversy here. If you like magic ring and it works for you, great. If you like working all your stitches into the first chain and it works for you, great. You know what I say all the time. Do what works for you. As long as you're getting the results that you want, there is no wrong way to be creative. You hear me, Bjorn? As long as you're getting the results you want, there is no wrong way to be creative. Nope, no way. No wrong way. Right, Geraldine, that's the other one, to work your stitches into one chain. That is an option too. I feel like it's going to be on the weaker side along with magic ring. I think foundation ovals and chain 5 rings or chain 4 rings or chain 6 rings or chain ring, I think they are going to be the strongest. However, let's see. We're going to do a little experiment and see if we get any results. And maybe we won't get any results, and that's okay too. Oh, someone likes a chinny chin chin scratch. All right, does anybody have any questions? We talked about a lot today. A lot of little stuff today, but a lot of stuff. I had a lot of fun doing the blanket stitch tutorial yesterday. That was fun. Made me want to, after I did this, I really wanted to go out and buy a piece of fleece fabric and put an edging around it with a blanket stitch. In fact, I might do that for little baby Louie. I'm going to meet him first before I make anything for him, but I'm thinking about making Marlon and Jess's puppy Louie. I'm thinking about making him a fleece blankie and putting a crochet edging on it, and if I do, it will be with a blanket stitch first. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe find a fleece that has like little paw prints on it or something doggy related. Or I want to meet him and figure out his personality first, but I'm thinking that I might make him something a little bit, maybe around the size of a baby blanket, maybe a little more, something that he can put in his crate and cuddle with. But I'm thinking a fleece blankie with crochet edge would be nice. Doesn't that sound nice? Yep, laundry bags are a great thing to give with handmade gifts, definitely. All right, I don't see any other questions, Bjorn. You want to say bye-bye to everybody? You want to take a nap, don't you? That's my baby. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed all my little show and tells, chatting with me and everyone else. I'm going to go meet Marlon's new baby, Louie, later today, and I will try to get some photos and maybe some videos of him. He's a 10-week-old French bulldog, and I will share with you whatever I find. Oh, that reminds me, if you are a Patreon subscriber, I sent out a poll yesterday on there to see what you would like me to make as a tutorial video next. So if you're one of my Patreon subscribers, please head over there and enter your wish for what you would like me to make next for a tutorial video. I gave several choices and several people have voted so far, but if you get a chance, if you could pop over and do that for me today, I really appreciate it. Oh, that's a good point, Nora Sue. That's a good point. Maybe I'll just take two pieces of fleece and do those cuts and tie them together instead. That might be safer for a puppy. Good point, Nora. Thank you. All right. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes with us. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.